Hey, how you guys doing? Eric here. Today's Father's Day, 2014. It was a beautiful morning this morning till I noticed them. I've been watching them all morning, spraying, mucking up the sky. That's what we get for Father's Day, I guess, huh? Nice chemtrail morning. And another thing, woke up this morning, it was 32 degrees up here. Pretty chilly. Freezing. My pepper plants don't like that. So yeah, the big story in the news this morning, war going on in Iraq. Some insurgents, whatever they call them now. Who's really behind it is the banks and the oil companies. Really, it's coming. It's all coming down to oil. They're gonna blame it on all kinds of shit, but the fact is that they want control of the oil. But yeah, I kind of knew this was gonna happen all along. As soon as the United States pulled out of there would be a power vacuum and all kinds of fucking chaos, as we see going on now. Oh shit! Now all they want to talk about is, is America gonna intervene? Of course America's gonna intervene. America always intervenes. And of course, yesterday Obama comes out and there will be no boots on the ground. They love that term. They say boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. Looking like a fool with your boots on the ground. We're just gonna goddamn bomb you, as George Carlin would say. It looks like kind of like the same thing after the first Gulf War, where Clinton, he pretty much maintained a no-fly zone through most of Iraq for most of his presidency, all the way into the second Iraq War. Looks like that's going to be the case again. We're going to bomb everything that moves down there from the air, and then maintain the whole fucking country of Iraq as a no-fly zone. There will be no flying in this zone. Probably be a no fucking driving, hiking, or walking zone either. What else is going on today? A lot of talk about Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, talking about how they've changed the whole game now, because now it turns out Americans are willing to negotiate with terrorists, and apparently we're a lot less safe because of it. And despite 12 years of war and terror, the terror threat is greater than ever. And now, since we're willing to negotiate with them, we're in more trouble than ever before. It's hilarious, like Diane Frankenstein. She's like the big warning us about the boogeyman, always. We are less safe than ever. We have more. The threat of Al-Qaeda, it keeps getting stronger every day. It's kind of like the war on drugs, we declare war on it and we send all kinds of resources and prison people, but there's still more drugs on the street than ever. And the war on terror, there's more terrorists on the street than ever. It's funny how that works. There he goes. Wow, what's that? There's something floating up there in the sky. Wow. Looks like some balloons, maybe. Maybe it's some kind of weather balloon using to manipulate all this fucking chemtrail muck they're spraying in the sky this morning. Because they sure are. There must be dozens of planes spraying this morning. Happy Father's Day, Colorado. We're just gonna spray a little muck up here this morning. You won't mind, will you? You know, it's mostly just to help you guys. We're doing it for your own good. It's to combat climate change. Like, oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to talk about was Obama. He was doing a graduation last week, and that's what he would talk about. It's like, when I was a kid, they didn't teach us that the moon was made out of blue cheese. So why would you want to doubt the word of science, of years and years of scientific research which back up climate change? It's kind of an interesting conundrum they got us in. You know, for some reason, the United States is dependent on foreign oil. You know, even though they pump all kinds of oil in this country, which is sold to other countries. They take the oil out of this country and sell it to other countries. You know, the only real benefit from the oil industry is a few jobs for the people. Other than that, it all goes to the oil corporations. People get really nothing out of their own oil. So we got to go fight wars in other countries to defend our oil supply while we ship our own oil overseas. I guess that's what I've heard, how it works. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Yep, happy Father's Day, Colorado. Purple Mountain Majesties. All mucked the fuck up for you. It's interesting. Yesterday, I was hanging out with some friends of mine that I hadn't seen in a while, because it was that I had two neighbors that died last week or the week before. One died the week before and one died last week. So there was a memorial up at the local restaurant, and so we were all up there talking. Interesting how most of the people are still just have their head buried in the sand. You know, there's still a few that are starting to wake up. And then one friend of mine, he used to be a really good friend of mine. He became a cop. That kind of ruined our friendship kind of. Well, you know, I still like him and all, but, you know, I don't really want to hang out with him. But anyways, he moved away, and it was his father that died. So yeah, you know, he's a really good guy, man, and you know, it's the economy today. You know, he's kind of forced to be a cop. Can't really blame him, you know. Just wish it wouldn't have happened to him, because it's kind of like selling your soul in a way. But and also, not too long before that, his wife died. So yeah, he's just like a few months back, his wife died, and then his dad died. So it's kind of sad. You know, it's like when I'm hanging out with him. Oh, there goes that crane. There's two of them. You know, because now I'm kind of afraid to just speak my mind around him, you know. I was thinking I can't really say what's on my mind, because Might offend this guy because he's a cop now. You know, I don't think he really wanted to become a cop. He's just looking at his employment opportunities. You know, where else are you going to start out at $100 grand a year in this world? Isn't that when you can hear him, man? Usually you can't hear him. That one's flying low. You see, this pond is usually down there, below that, where that grass is growing. That's how much flooded we are. It's like the water hasn't drained from this last summer flood. It's like this puddle keeps getting deeper right here. Undingo. Yeah. You see, this pond is so high, we had to make a whole new trail to get around it. Look at that sky. Isn't that beautiful? I don't see the balloons anymore. Must have floated off into space. I'll tell you the first thing I'm going to do when I get elected. I'm going to end these wars. We get our troops out of Iraq, out of Afghanistan. We're going to end these wars and we're going to come back to... And we're going to start putting this country back together.